Good morning.
So,
I don't know how to take this. You're so subdued. It's a little creepy, actually.
are you feeling contempt against me?
No.
Okay,
Good. Good morning. I'm Derek.
And I'm Pam.
We're going through 21 days of prayer. It's a devotional book given to us by our church, Church on the Move in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're using this for our group renewal through COVID-19. It's our Facebook group. If you would like an invitation, please let us know in the comments. We're also doing a Zoom small group on Mondays at 7 p.m. You're welcome to join us. Just let us know that that's something you'd be interested in, and we'll get you into the
Our
group.
grew by 75% today.
Yes. We had a massive growth in our Healthy Things Grow.
Healthy things grow.
Yes. So this proof that our small group is very healthy because it almost doubled in size. Went from us to one more. So we're getting there. No, we're really happy.
We are happy to have her.
That we can have a small group. So we're looking forward to that. Hope that others will want to take part. No Kool-Aid, and if there was, it'd be like
Sugar-free.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
So, yeah. Let us know if that's something you want to do. We're reading in...
This book, we already talked about that.
What's the reference?
This is Romans 12:16. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, me being a word person, I decided to...
She filled up the page.
I did. I can't help myself. So, first of all, what does live in harmony mean? And the basic definition that we all think of is living together peacefully.
Yeah.
But when I looked up the definition, I tried several different resources because most of it was talking about music, and finally I realized that maybe it does all mean the same thing. And it's all talking about the same thing because harmony is consistent, orderly, or pleasing arrangement of the parts.
Yeah.
So if you really want to think of it as a song, if we live our lives right and we live our lives together in harmony, it is like a worship song to God.
Yeah. In case you don't understand what harmony is in music, you have somebody singing the melody that you're familiar with, and then someone will take usually a lower note with opposite notes. So I can't demo it for you, but
You'll know
when you hear it.
They have their own distinct sound, but
Yeah.
together they make something even more. They build on each other.
Sounds very full.
Yeah.
It's very confusing when you're trying to sing sometimes. When somebody goes into a harmony and you're like, whoa! If you're a melody person, it's like,
What just happened there?
Where
are we going?
oh, where do we go now?
We can't sing that.
Anyway. So harmony. Live in
harmony with one another. That's point number 1.
Yeah.
Live in harmony with one another.
Yeah.
Do not be haughty. I just really like that word. Haughty. Do not be haughty.
Yeah.
Not like he's a hottie. No.
Means arrogant.
It means arrogantly superior and disdainful.
Yes. Unlike me.
Who's a hottie? Arrogant. What do you say arrogant is?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but I know it when I see it.
Oh, but I know how. Let me help you.
Okay. because you got the definitions.
Having or revealing an exaggerated sense of your own importance or abilities.
Yeah. Immediately someone came to mind. Somebody that I used to not work with directly in the same department, but somebody in another department who was complaining about the way one of their employees was treated by security because they weren't following the rules. And basically they just were asked not to do the thing they were doing. And he was very upset that they were treated poorly because of all of the volunteer work they were doing. And I said, well, if I am a reserve police officer and I'm volunteering, I still have to obey the rules. And he stood up and he looked down at me and he said, don't you lecture me. And he was very, very, very upset that I had spoken out of turn to him because he was a director within his department. So that is what goes to my mind when I think of haughty.
Are you salty?
Salty?
You're salty.
No, but it came to my mind just now because you described him.
So what does disdain mean?
It's what I feel for that man right now.
Showing contempt or lack of respect. And what does contempt mean?
Contempt is disdain, isn't it?
The feeling that someone is beneath consideration,
Yeah.
worthless,
No, yeah. I don't
deserving of scorn.
I don't feel like that.
That's good. So now that we understand all those words more deeply, let me read that again. This is Romans 12:16. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. So what does it mean by associate with the lowly?
So I'd have to go back and read the chapter or the passage to see if there was something particular it's pulling from. What comes to mind is just people that can't do anything for you, I guess. People that are either financially unable to help you, or positionally unable to do you any kind of favors or anything like that. Just normal people that you're just friends with.
So you're friends with. Okay.
Yeah.
So I see it as the people who you see as beneath you. The people, and as much as we would all hate to admit this, I would say that a lot of the people that we seek out to help, we kind of see them as beneath us sometimes if we don't keep that in check, because they're like, well, they need us because I'm doing so much better than they are, and we have to.
Haughty.
We have to really keep that. No, because I'm not saying they're not worthy of, but what I'm saying is that you have to kind of keep your thoughts, your thought life.
Yeah.
That's the term. That's the term. In check, because you are always in danger of kind of thinking of yourself as higher than someone if you're helping them out. If they consistently need your help, you're in danger of thinking that you're better than them or higher than them. I do like, we went to, what is it called? The Thursday Night Lights in Tulsa.
Tulsa Night Lights.
Yeah, Night Lights.
No, it's Tulsa.
So, and what they do is they go and, we may have talked about this before, but they go and it's a group of people. And they go under this bridge on Thursday nights, and they like grill burgers, and they hand out clothes, and there's like a station for like the kids to play at, and there's people over there playing with the kids, and there's a station like where women are getting their fingernails painted and things. And my niece went with me. I was a little nervous because she's a very free spirit, and I watched her with these ladies that she was over there painting their nails, and I watched her with them, and she may have said some things out of turn considering that we were there with our church, but really she didn't think they were any different than her. She was just there talking to them and enjoying their stories, and that's what it's supposed to be like. So where it says associate with the lowly, I don't think that it means associate with people that are beneath you, because if we're being real, there's no one beneath us. I mean, if not for the grace of God, there go I.
Yeah.
And I actually had one of the doctors that I work with say that one time, and it was like, wow, okay, because she took it, out of hearing it in church to real life situation. There, where I work, there's a lot of people with a lot of issues, and someone had come through with a lot of issues, and when they left, she was like, if not for the grace of God, there go I.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that kind of hit home. So I think it's not saying, where it says associate the lowly, you can't concentrate on them being lowly, but concentrate on the fact that don't just, here's my group of people that I think are, at my level or above, and then I'll help all these people and then walk away from it.
Yeah. I think you could also look at, so the area that I grew up in, and admittedly, I involved myself with a lot of people on my own account. So there are a rough crowd that I kind of grew up with after my teenage years, that to this day, with a little more wisdom and not quite so naive to the dangers that I was in, but those same people, I mean, I could be right at home with. I could walk in and have a comfortable time just hanging out with them. We're talking some rough people, but I don't see them any differently than I see myself. I realize now where I was, and what that environment can do to you, and how really dangerous it was. So again, with some wisdom, you wouldn't want to know when to get out of that environment. A little controlled chaos never hurt anyone, but I could see that as someone forgetting where they came from.
Yeah.
And seeing that as a position of better than.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely would feel the same way about my old crowd.
Yeah.
That you got to be careful, because you may start seeing yourself, especially when you've been there and you've pulled yourself out. I think sometimes you see that they have the same capabilities, but choose not to.
Yeah.
And so you have, or at least I have this tendency of thinking, you can do this too. You can get out of that too, and you just choose not to.
Yeah.
And then just kind of, looking down on them. And it says, never be wise in your own sight.
Yeah. So we talked about this earlier. I call people an idiot a lot. I just do.
Moron.
I just
idiot.
Yeah. I just do, because they're doing stupid things. But like you said, for the grace of God, there go I. I'm not so much mad at the person though. Again, I'm usually, if the same person who I thought was being an idiot just stopped doing what they were doing, I'm cool. Now you're, congratulations, you're not an idiot anymore. So it's just the way I think. Maybe that's the wrong way to think. You tell me what you think. Is that the wrong way to think, or?
Not to call you out, but
I mean,
I don't think you have as much grace for people as you think you do.
okay.
I mean,
I think I have a lot more grace for people than I think it would really surprise you how much grace I've given people.
all right. I mean,
I'm just saying.
But is that based on how much grace you've given them that you think they don't deserve? Or is that because...
No, I think like any other time, we remember negative things. So, I mean,
Right.
you're gonna, if I give someone the finger in traffic, I'm sorry, it's happened. It's not right. You're gonna remember that. It's not gonna be something that you easily forget. But, you know.
So never be wise in your own right. I think we kind of backtracked a little bit into the associate with the lily, and then
Yeah.
don't do not be haughty. You can be a haughty. You can't help yourself. Just don't be haughty.
Aw, thanks.
Don't be haughty.
Oh, dude.
Never be wise in your own sight. So, to me, that's saying never think you know everything. You never think that you're not going to be able to learn in every situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that happening. If I think the lowly factor could come in if you didn't think someone could teach you something.
Mm-hmm.
That if your opinion is dismissed because whoever you're talking with doesn't value your opinion.
Yeah. I think we had a foster son that had a lot of issue with that.
Yeah.
He was very, very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
But he thought none of his teachers could teach him anything.
Yeah.
He didn't see the point of school because he already knew more than everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a frustrating existence for all of us. But I guess that kind of taught me something too, though, to see his attitude towards everyone and how little he was willing to learn because he thought he already knew everything. And I feel like it stunted him in some ways.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to mature and grow because he thought he already knew everything.
Yeah. But, I mean, what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? So what does this tell you about God?
Tells me that even Jesus humbled himself. Says that he grew in stature and wisdom and favor with people when he was young. So he knew that going in that he was going to have to let go of his power.
Mm-hmm.
And he was willing to do that. So, I mean, it just tells me that he expects the same thing of us, to let go of the knowledge.
So how many times
What
in
do
the
you call
Bible?
that
How many
thing?
times in the Bible did Jesus tell people, "I've given up my throne to be here. Or I'm giving up my crown to be here"?
No, I don't know. None, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said that. So it wasn't even a matter of, "Look what I'm doing for you." It never was. Like I can't think of a single instance. If there is an instance, please tell me. I would love to know. But I can't think of a single instance where Jesus threw it back in their face. So quit being idiots. Look what I'm doing for you. You know, be appreciative for what I'm doing for you. And because he wasn't just associating, but he was having a relationship, and that means it all goes back to
Your heart.
your heart.
You heard it here first.
What does this tell you about yourself?
I don't know.
That you're haughty.
Yeah, I'm haughty. I'm a haughty. It's all in the throat.
Mm-hmm.
Ah or aw.
You're a haughty. You're not a haughty.
Haughty.
You're not haughty. You're a haughty.
Tells me, I mean, I gotta work on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I think that it tells me that it's a constant learning experience daily. Because I would definitely say that on a daily basis, I do catch myself feeling that way. That someone's lower than me. I mean, it's an awful thing to admit. I know most people won't admit it, but yeah, on pretty much a daily basis, I have to catch myself in that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that if you're in a work environment where you're dealing with people with real problems, and the majority of their problems are by choice, I could see that it would be a difficult struggle. Law enforcement people have that problem. Lawyers, I'm sure, have that problem.
Oh, I'm sure. No doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm a nurse. I mean, so
glad they have that job.
You deal with a lot of issues when you're in your medical field.
It's a grounding thing, though. I think the more if you want to grow, if you want to get better, you will. I mean, if you want to grow in a relationship with God, those things are going to fall off naturally, I guess. I mean, you have to work on them still, but that's because you're working on your relationship with God.
Right. So I guess that kind of goes into how would this change your life if you took it seriously?
Well, when I take it seriously, I'll let you know.
I think it's a natural thing, like we said. It's a constant. You constantly have to work on it. Because I do take it seriously. That's on the forefront of my mind for the most part, especially when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, those thoughts creep in, and I immediately have to cut them down. Yeah, but that you've made some changes or done something right when you don't even realize the rapport you have with someone who had some serious issues. And as they're walking out of the room, their daughter says, I could talk to her all day. And the person says, I know, I just love her. And you realize in that moment the effect that you've had on them, and it's hard to say anything without, it's hard to explain it without, giving a lot of detail. But, people that come and see me a lot of times have had a really rough life and are seen as, the lowliest of low. And to realize just the fact that you treated them like a person, not even overly kind necessarily. Because, if you're being overly sweet, some people are just like, ugh. Yeah. It's just like treating somebody like a person. And not that they were walking out of the room saying, oh, she's so sweet, and I've heard that before too. I mean, because I'm pretty awesome, really. I'm just kidding. But it was a difference between a comment on my personality or how I treated them versus how I made them feel. Because when they were walking out of the room and said, I could just talk to her all day, I know, I just love her. That's not just talking about that I was a sweet person or that I didn't make them feel bad. That encompassed what God wants us to do, what kind of relationship He wants us to have with people. I didn't make them feel uncomfortable, and I talk to them like normal people because they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to keep that in check. It's hard sometimes, but you do. And we also talked a little bit, because we talked about this beforehand, because there's some questions back here. Who do you tend to look down upon? Well, mine was pretty easy. I have this issue with a lot of people I work with. I have an issue with other people, don't get me wrong, but a lot of times it's people I work with. He had someone in mind, and the next question was, the last question was, how can you begin to spend more time with them?
Well, the person that I picked, I'm not spending more time with him. It's just not happening. Sorry. I value my sanity, my life, my freedom. I don't want to be guilty by association, kind of thing.
My answer was just work more hours, but
yeah.
But honestly, I mean, there really is because the person he's talking about, the situation he's talking about, isn't just about that person. It's
Right.
about the lifestyle and what this person surrounds themselves
Yeah.
with. And you don't want to be in that situation. So what does this mean? How can you begin to spend more time with them? And let me start over. Who do you tend to look down upon? Really think about that. Don't just remember that no one else can hear your thoughts except God. He already knows. He already knows the answer. So work on this answer for yourself. Who do you tend to look down upon? And the next question being, why do you see them that way?
Yeah.
And that was another thing we had talked about was we saw that maybe it was something in them that we saw part of ourselves in from our past.
Yeah.
I know for sure. Yeah, not just me, but the people I was around. I surrounded myself growing up with some bad people. Like I can't even explain to you like legally I can't explain to you some of the things I was around. I mean it was bad. So sometimes when I see some of these people, it really reminds me of that in that situation, and that whole situation was horrible. And so maybe that's part of the reason. And he was saying the same thing, that maybe he sees himself in some of them.
Yeah. And for some of the people, this one person in particular, it's almost enraging because they're super intelligent. And you know that they're smart and they know the right answers, and they just, for whatever reason, don't care.
Yeah.
And you can't make someone care. You just can't. Maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe they do care. They just don't know how to care properly. Maybe. I don't know. But
I don't know. I could definitely pick this one apart.
yeah.
This one in particular for
Yeah.
days. But it's an enraging conversation for everyone involved. So
You know what this is completely, we're going to take I guess this would be your
A
left
detour?
turn. I don't know, maybe it's mirrored and this is right. Anyway, I see this.
A detour.
The, looking down with students a lot. With people having all the answers for the students.
Yeah, especially with the age group that you deal with a lot.
Yeah. Or even in well, not the school I'm in now though. That's the good thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure you've seen it enough. And,
Other schools, I've
Yeah.
definitely seen. Just not even hearing them. Even if they're dead wrong, sometimes they just want to be heard.
yeah, sometimes you just have to validate that they're right to feel that way, and you can understand why they feel that way. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But
Everybody
yeah.
needs to feel validated.
Yeah. Or treating I don't know. Depending on the age group, the younger you get, the more easy it is to trivialize, for instance, a prayer request. Somebody's bunny is sick or something like that. Super easy to be like, it's a bunny,
Right.
but it's a big deal to
Yeah.
a sixth grader or whatever.
I've prayed for my animals many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pray for frogs.
Yes. I remember this story.
It's not trivialized to me.
If you want to know, you can ask.
Join the small group.
Join the small group.
We'll discuss it in the small group.
Discuss the frogs.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
frogs. I was very young, so that tells you how important this was that I remember it all these years
Yeah.
later.
It's profound.
It is profound.
So, there you go. That's all I got.
So how can you begin to spend more time with them? I don't know that we have the right answer for this.
Yeah.
Because it's easy enough to say, yes, I'll go and serve.
Yeah.
Great, that is good. Do that. But I don't think that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need to be around everybody, because like I've said before, in that same situation in the Nightlight Tulsa, I was, face to face with a couple of really unsavory people that
Yeah. You wouldn't want to go have dinner with them.
you wouldn't want to be alone with them.
Right.
You wouldn't even want to be in a small group with them. But so how in that instance would I spend more time with them? I don't have the answer to that. I don't have the answer to that
With
because
wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just continuing to serve, because some people, that's the only way you're going to do it. And then these two people in particular are going to treat you like crud while you're serving them.
Yeah.
Continue to serve them. Because maybe that's how you spend more time with them. Because when they walk away and they realize that you continue to serve them, not in spite of what they're doing, but you just continue to serve them.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Despite, not in spite of.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll stay with them. Maybe that's how you spend more time with them in that situation. If you know somebody, like on a personal level, you know someone, even if you're not super close, but you do know, you know them well enough to know, their family's names or whatever, and they're going through something, something that to you is trivialized. Maybe. Well, I think we talked before about a young girl that's having relationship problems, or a young parent that the baby is not sleeping at night. I mean, honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of experience with that, but I have had some. I've had enough to know that that is a horrible experience.
Yeah.
So even though you can think it's no big deal. Well, they have parents, they have family, they can deal with that, it's not a big deal. Maybe you need to call them. Maybe you need to say, hey, maybe you're going to buy dinner for them that night or something. Just something. And, just, I don't know, set a reminder on your phone to call them once a week. Give them 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, being what the people need. Find a need and fill it. That's what it's about.
Yeah. I think there's also a relationship thing. Just leaving yourself open to the Holy Spirit. Leave yourself open to conversations that you have. Again, use wisdom. Don't just, don't go where angels fear to tread. But in, like, I say rough people, I guess. Maybe invite yourself over to dinner, kind of thing. It's easy to invite somebody to your home where it's safe and it's comfortable and it's yours and you're in control. But Jesus never invited anyone over. He told them, "I'm having dinner at your house tonight." Yeah.
That needs to be a goal. I think is to jump out of our comfort zone. But maybe you do, like, if that's just no way, that's never going to happen. Maybe meet them somewhere out to dinner, and maybe have them at your house. That's a little more personable, but it is in a more safe environment for you.
Yeah.
But with the goal always in mind to allow them to be more comfortable.
Yeah.
So if that means going to their home.
Well, the people in this scenario, I guess, and the people I have in mind is the people who may feel uncomfortable having you in their home.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because it's run down or
that's interesting.
you know what I'm saying, making them validating their home and their possessions, or I don't know, every situation is different. So, and again, use wisdom. You don't use wisdom. That's all I'm going to say. Don't put yourself into a place where it could be dangerous. That's all.
If you have to go to a home that all they can feed you is ramen noodles, go and enjoy those ramen noodles.
Yes.
If you have to go to a home that all they have is beer and marijuana, invite them over to your place.
Yeah.
It's just it's using wisdom, but it's also make sure, again, you're keeping yourself in check, that the reason why you're not going over there is because of safety, not because you would be uncomfortable and you feel like it's below you.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys, I am going to read the prayer to pray. It is only to lead you into a line of thought. The prayer should be from you. Write down your prayer, journal it, whatever you need to do, but this needs to be about you. This is just supposed to lead you into a line of thought to get you kind of really studying this for yourself, because the word is very special. It doesn't mean just one thing all the time. So it means something different to you, to me. So this needs to be a very personal experience. So as I read this prayer to pray, be thinking about those things. Derek will pray us out, but please continue your own prayer and your own time with God. Okay? Father, thank you for reconciling us to you. I am able to seek and live in harmony with others because I am in harmony with you. In a culture that's so combative and aggressive, I need your help in loving those different than me. Strip away any pride that remains in me. In Jesus' name, amen.
God, thank you for this time that you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity, and the freedom, and the legal freedom to be able to do this, God. Thank you for speaking to us, for helping us to step outside of ourselves and see other people the way that you see them, God. Thank you for blessing us with friends, with mentors, with pastors and teachers, God. Help us to remember where we came from, remember where we will be without you, and help us to take what you've given us to other people. God, ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
All right, guys. We only have, oh my goodness gracious.
Tomorrow is 17.
Yeah, we only have 4 more days.
Dun, dun,
So at the
dun.
end of that 4 days, we'll be discussing the future of this group.
What the future holds.
What the future holds. If you would like to be a little bit a part of that conversation, be sure to join the group.
Yes.
If you're already in the group, please think about joining the Zoom small group on Monday nights.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys in the morning. Tomorrow morning. Mañana. Hasta mañana.
Mañana.
That's your Spanish lesson for today. Have a great day.